see what we got here. Live chat, yes sir. All right. Spirit. All right. All right. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Call Halayim Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Arachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, tells us truth. Honor salutations to the elect, to the men that died doing the work of Yahweh, Hashem Yahshua, the shadow first. To the men, women, and children, I believe in the true name of the Father and the Son. The Father's name is Yahweh, he exists. The Son's name is Yahweh Shai, he is the deliverer, because he come deliver us out of this captivity that we're in. All right. Church Philadelphia, once again, been a brother here doing a sit down. Our brother's not here, but we just going to do this quick. We see how the Spirit takes it, Lord's willing. But I got this book here. Ben had it. I just started going back over it again, which says Bible, a history book, and the dates is pretty much on point as far as certain events that happened with these captives in different nations.
Hey, before you go into it, I can open up with a scripture.
What's that, bro? I got some stuff, bro.
Just to open up with.
But go ahead, bro.
In the book, this is the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope."
Right, patience. Oh, snap. Speaking of patience, real fast. Matter of fact, we're going to get into it because the first one is going into the Egyptian captivity, where we were freed from the Egyptians. Well, and the date, going back to the first Passover, that's when the Yahushua came. So you got like different dates, brothers were saying. When you look it up, believe that night they said it was, the year was between 1446 to 1440 BCE. All right. And 40 years from that, from 1440 BC being exiled, being basically delivered out of that captivity, going into the wilderness from the Egyptians. That was 14. I said 1440 to 1400. And then the brother said it was 1446 to 1406. All right, which that brings out. I said we was in the wilderness for 40 years. All right, and like the brother mentions about the patience, right? Let me get it real. Grab I'm saying Exodus 15 and 18, Bible Quashah, just real quick. If I'm not mistaken, I just want to make sure it's the right John. I think it's 15 and 18. Just to prove a point real quick. No, that's not it. That's not it.
No.
That's not it. 40 days. What's that? 40
How would you quote?
Was it 40? Just put the 40 years in the wilderness. 40 years in the wilderness.
Oh. Okay. All right.
And the scriptures come up because it's a specific one I want because it says like what you just went in on patience. As far as like, we were put in the wilderness and all that, right? For those 40 years. And now the Lord, through those 40 years, you were walking through your land, but you didn't even know it. That's the land that the Lord is going to give us. Around that Saudi Arabia area, Iraq area, You know, where Babylon, the Babylonians dwelled at, the Chaldeans dwelled at, and the Chaldeans was just a group of people, man. Babylon was down with them, the Babylonians. You know, and matter of fact, you know what? Just real fast. All the brothers looking for the scripture just to give you a picture. You know, what is it? What was it? Show me pictures of the wilderness that the Israelites traveled during the 40 years. All right, so here we go. And I'm share this picture because we were exiled out of Egypt, right? So, what did Yahweh Bashim Shah told Abram? Okay, he said that hold on. Right here. That's what I want this picture on right here. Now, you look at this map right here, you can see it. Not sure. There you go. Now that's a picture though. You got all right. So if you can see it you got Egypt on one side, which the river in Egypt is what, the Nile River, right? So Abram was promised the river, the Egypt River, from the Egypt River all the way to the Great River Euphrates. That was going to be our land. All right. And if you look at that land piece right there, that's modern day Saudi Arabia. All right. So that all that land belongs to us by default, according to the scriptures. I'm not sure if you really can see it, but see it. You can look it up yourself. Just Google, go in there. But from the Nile River, going all the way to the Euphrates. See that, and it says it says Egypt, Israel. You see this? That's crazy. I didn't even peep that. See, it says Egypt, Israel. So that's our land right there. All right, which was promised to Abram, whose name became Abraham. All right, and that's in Genesis. Hold on, give me 1 second. I was just reading it. And this scripture going back. I actually posted this just earlier online about this. Here it goes, right here. Salaki. So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 15 and 18. So just remember that picture I just showed you. All right. It says, in the same day, Yahweh Bashim Yashah made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed. And who's thy seed, right? Abraham was made a great nation. He's a father of many nations, right? But the Israelites of now, all right, the sons of God, okay, back then, but the Israelites now, because that's the seed of Abraham, because Jacob says Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob is the progenitor of the Israelites, okay? And that's Abraham's seed, not these other damn, what's the name? But anyway, it says in that same day, Yahweh Shemashah made a covenant with Abram, saying unto thy seed, have I given this land from the river of Egypt. You see that? From the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. All right. So that's proven to you. That's why I brought that out. All right. I'm going to show you the picture again. All right. That's what that scripture is talking about. That Genesis chapter 15 and verse 18. All right. That's that right there. That's our land. That's why a lot of conflict is going on in Iran, which we've been telling you about time, day in and day out, week in and week out, videos and all that, So that's why the Lord he's cleaning that place up for us to come home, man. All right, though you got that scripture with the 40 years.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2. It says, and thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord Yahweh thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know that was in thine heart.
You had to know you had to know what's good with you, man. The same way right now. This is a form of the wilderness here. We in Babylon. This is not our land. This is not our rest. So the Lord got to humble us, man. He got to bring us back to our remembrance and humble you. Like just because you wake up, I'm an Israelite, the next day it ain't salvation. Everything is a time period. That's why I wanted to bring out these dates and all that too, man. All right.
Yeah, that's why you got the books locked. I was gonna say that's why you got the book called Chronicles.
Yeah, exactly. I mentioned that. Chronicological. It's telling you that it's basically giving you the bloodline all the way back, all the way to King David. You know, but let's get into this real fast. It says evidence supporting the Bible. It says most archaeologists. Matter of fact, I'll show you again coming out of this book. All right, we're going to get the scriptures and everything. But it says most archaeologists who dig through the ruins of ancient biblical cities in the Middle East are not on a mission to prove the Bible in effect. To prove the Bible, it says in fact, they argue that historical records cannot prove the most important teachings of the Bible, such as the extensive, the extenses of the Most High, which says God. All right. This says what archaeologists are looking for are clues about what life was like in the biblical times, but in their quest for insight, they sometimes stumble across evidence that support the Old Testament history. As the Bible, and it's the whole Testament, all right, but this is the Old Testament, whatever. This said Old Testament history as the Bible reports it. It says here are a few of the most famous discoveries listed in the other Shalak. Says listed in order as they appear in the biblical history. So the first one we're gonna go, it says Israel's first mention outside the Bible. All right. So it says Israel's first mention outside the Bible. How odd, Shalak. I need glasses. It says how odd that history's first known reference to Israel is an Egyptian king's extravagant boast that he wiped out the nation of Israel. That he wiped out the nation. Israel was laid waste. All right. No, Psalms 83 and 4. All right, get that. Exactly. This is the mention being made, mention outside of, this. But we're going to go get the references in the scriptures, of course. You know.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse. Start at 30. It said they had taken crafty counsel against thy people.
So that's all the nations, right? Every nation that had us in captivity and everything, they took crafty counsel. They wanted to wipe us off from being a nation altogether. But they couldn't do it. That's why they bragged about it, because we're the main focus of the focal point of this planet, man. All right, the Israelites, the sons of God, the sons and daughters of God, of Yahweh. All right, so we were known that before we were known as Israelites. It's God's work.
It says, and consult against thy enemies.
Right. We elect, priests, governors, all that, man.
And that's heavy because it says thy enemy, that it's not. We'll say it's heavy because it says thy hidden ones, right? Because our history is hidden, our nationality has been hidden.
Right.
That's why you have during the Seleucid Empire, you had totally, take our destroy our temples and take our knowledge, which going back to Egypt, which is the library of Alexandria. A lot of these things are hidden, and now it's being brought back to light.
Right.
And you even got monuments of when Titus took us down.
Yeah.
So it's proof. It's proof because they say, oh, man wrote that book. But yet, what's written in the scriptures, you see it They have it in front of you. The monuments, the statues, but yet they denounce the scriptures and things like that. You know, so it says, verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Right. So that's what they wanted to do, but eventually our name wasn't in remembrance coming into this captivity. I think it was what, 16, 19, 14, 19. No, it was 16, 19. When the first slaves from over in that region of the land of Canaan came over here on the shores of Babylon. So they landed in Virginia. All right, I forgot the name that they used, but now it's known as Virginia. All right. But it says back in this book, it says the bragging Pharaoh is Marnipata, if I'm pronouncing right, the potion chiseled into the black garnet slab. So now this is proof because he's putting it like you got the matter of fact, look at this right here, this book. You see like the hieroglyphics and all that. So they always made like monument statues, whatever this, just to show who they conquered. All right, so to let you know that those people were there. Okay, and also the people that our people that was there, they put landmarks and things like that. You know, to show to prove that they was there. All right, that's how we find out this. You know, all right, and that's how Esau he searches things out. I think this book he got this book with him. Because he went and sought those things out. Read the Bible with us. I see this reason, that reason. Where did this at? And you know the maps is in the back of the book anyway, you know. And it gives you the towns and state and stuff like that. Alright, so it says it says chiseled into a black slab, garnet slab, more than 2 meters, 7 feet high. That's not a small statue. It says was commissioned by the king of the conglomerate. His alleged victory over several enemies in Canaan. Uh, the Israelites included the monument now on display in the Cairo Museum was erected in the Bibis, Egypt. Was erected in Bibis, Egypt in about 1210 BC. All right, so you got 1210 BC. So this thing was erected. All right, well, not put it to the yeah, it was erected in 1220, 1210 BC. I got the shit there. But it's telling you now it's in a museum, so you can go to these museums and see like these things. And this is not a this is an Egyptian an Egyptian what you call it like a status a fixture so to speak, showing you like matter of fact and the grab Exodus 11 and so on. No, it's just like when you yeah like the Georgia Guidestones they put stuff in there. Yeah. That's something like that, but it's on it's called a black. It's the same thing, but it's a black garnet slab, but it's 7 feet high. All right, and they hold these things down. Grab Exodus 11 and 7. And that's the reason why I want to bring this scripture out to let you know the difference. All right, because they always try to go through history. Oh well, Israelites. No, those are the Egyptians. They was all Egyptians. But why? Well, goddamn, they had Israelite slaves, man. All right, and it was written up in their books because they had to keep documents of who our people are, man. You know, it's like they got documents of who we are here in Babylon in America. Everything is written down. So like if this place was to say whatever, they would go on how they would say 100 years from now, 200 years from now, like we would still be documented of like the documents of us that we were here. All right. If this place was to get conquered by China, which is not going to happen. You know, if this place was to get conquered by China, then everybody going to be speaking their language. But the documents of the people that was here is still going to be there. You know. And yo, matter of fact, and Salaki real fast, and this Pharaoh right here, right? This is the son Met Mer Merneptah. Merneptah, if I'm pronouncing it correct, is the son of Ramses II. All right, was the king or the pharaoh when Moses was one of seeing that to take the children out of it. You got it, bro.
In the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 7, it says, "But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord Yahweh doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel."
Right, so it's a difference between us. And this right there, but now that's showing you. So Babylon, that's why you gotta search things out. So Babylon can't nobody get it twisted up. All these same people. And yo, they even got the color mixed up in these movies and all that stuff. Whitewashing going to the Renaissance era and all that, man. You know. But it says all right, it says yeah. It said there beats Egypt in about 1220 BC, 1210 BC. It says that is after the Exodus. See that when the statue, when they found the statue and everything like that was recognized, right? It says that is after the Exodus when the Israelites arrived in Canaan, perhaps in the time of the judges. All right, it says the evident lends support. It says the evident lends support to the biblical story of the Exodus, which says the Israelites fled Egypt and settled the region that today includes Israel and parts of the neighboring Arab Sea. And that's why I know this book was up. So they're saying like that state of Israel that they have, they're trying to say that those people are us. That's how I know this book goes off. So if you look at it, you're like, oh, Israel, parts of Arab, you would think over there, but that's in that Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran. You got the Israelis and Israel and everything. So that's in that same area. But those people, the Iranians and Iraq and all those, they're um, and those small heads, they're occupying our land right now. All right, the Lord's about to get them up out of it. That's why you see everything happening. And that's why we're going through this history to show you, our people was there. We was there already. This land was promised to us. We went through the wilderness for 40 years, and we had to be tested, man. Everybody that walked through the wilderness, you was actually being shown your land, what the Lord promised you. All right, you just had to be patient. That's when the brother said. That's when you think about it, the patience. All right, let's get the next king. It says another king brags of defeating Israel. All right, and these are in their books, written in their books, and it's also written in our books. All right, so this is what we're going to mention about the Moabite stone and things like that. All right, which has been, Apostle Tahar brought that information out years and years and years and years ago. So this is old information, but it's new, but you still got to do it. All right. So this it says another king brags of defeating Israel. In 1868, nomadic herds in Jordan found a stone um, monument that looks a bit like a tombstone, more than a metre, 3 feet high, chiseled into a black stone monument. That's crazy. They kept chiseling the stuff in the black stone. All right. Uh, it said chiseled into a black stone monument, now famous as the Moabite stone, are the exploits of King Misha, who claims to have utterly destroyed forever the descendants of Amri, king of Israel. All right. So Amri was a king of Israel. All right. It says Amri was King Ahab's father, and the first of the of Slack, and the first of three generation dynasties of Israelite rulers. All right. So this Misha, and then it's actually is going to give you accounts in the Second Kings. When you go to Second Kings, the third chapter, it speaks about this conflict between Misha and the Israelites. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to read these. Just to give you a little more substance. What did King Misha do to the Israelites? All right, it says, Misha, the king of Israel, 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 Misha, the All right, so this dude, that's why I was mentioning the Moabite storm. And this is also like wisdom in the wilderness. So type of what the king, or you could just type of Misha, King Misha of Moab, the Moabite. All right. Now it says King Misha of Moab did not perform erect cities against the Israelites, but rather fought against them. Now, Misha's father was the when Misha's father knew who was it? Man? Shit. Misha. Damn, Slack. I just was looking at this. No, I'm thinking, no, Slack. I'm jumping the gun. Forget it. It was somebody else. We is like so it says hold on, wait. It says King Misha of Moab did not perform Iraq cities against the Israelites, but rather fought against them to achieve independence from Israelite oppression and to regain the land of Moab after the death. Yeah, all right, here we go. After the death of Israel's king Ahab, that's what it was. All right, so they knew Ahab was known amongst them, so they like it was like kind of peace at that time. But once Ahab died, you know, after Ahab died, right? Misha started. He wanted to smoke with the Israelites. All right, it says a sheep breeder and a ruler of Moab refused to pay tribute to his successor, Jehoram. All right, so Jehoram came after uh, King Ahab. All right, it says and led a successful rebellion against Israelite rule. Uh, he then consolidated his power by attacking cities in the region that was still held by Israel, such as at Atarat and Nebo. Now the dude that was doing this is Misha, all right, the Moabite. It says killing their populations and dedicating the city to his gods. All right, it says Chemosh. He also erected a monument, the Misha still, all right, commemorate his victories and his kingdoms and independence. All right, so these dudes, they like this, and these are written in their books too. All right, you got the more talking about the Moabite storm, the Moabite storm. Well, I'm so tongue tied. Yeah, I know, like,
Take your time.
but all right, we got here we go. I'm gonna read this real quick. It says, "Who was King Misha in the Bible?" Like I said, I'm just basically telling you the same thing. I just explained. All right, his story is mentioned in Second Kings, the third chapter. All right, he said he was a wealthy sheep breeder who led a successful rebellion against the kingdom of Israel, throwing off the heavy tribute his nation had paid to, because they had paid a bunch of money to King Ahab. All right, so now once Ahab is dead, they're like, man, we riding out, you know. Whenever the king dies, whatever you do. That even happened with. Well, I don't want to jump the gun because it's a lot more we got going to get into it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was about 850 BCE. All right, when these events took place. Okay. Matter of fact, look up. What year did King Ahab die? So all right, King Ahab. Now that's crazy because King Ahab was there for a couple of years before the Sabbath. All right, so let's read. It says King Ahab likely died around 853 BC, as this is the year, Salakia, as this is the year he is recorded as participating in the Battle of Quaqar, Quaqar, and historical sources place his reign from approximately 874 to 853 BC. It says rain dates Ahab the son of Omri. So now see down these things are written, and it's written in this book too. All right. It says Omri reigned as the 8th king of Israel from roughly 874 to 853 BC. Let's say on that paper, bro. The dates Ahab. Kings already got. With all the kings. Just had people with all the kings. Time they ruled Israel and everything. Those ruling is edifying.
It goes into 4 different kings that ruled. The Persian kings. So if you had it's like Ahab, right? You got all the kings of Jerusalem. That's what I meant to say. So,
Ahab was Judah.
So Ahab
was Judah.
Ahab ruled for 22 years from 875
so they
to 854.
It's just all about 1 year. From that to this, this will be all about 1 year.
They would say that would be around like the 9th century.
Con. So this with these events take place. That's why you gotta go through Joe. That's why the apostles always tell you, man, go through the history, man. You do the history, you get a little better understanding in this. It makes it more easy. All right. But it says going back into this book. It says the Bible confirms that Misha, that his people, the Moabites, in what is now known, in what is now Jordan, in the rebellion against Jehoram. Omri's grandson and last ruler of Omri's dynasty, Jehoram invaded Moab to quell the rebellion and because they was rebelling against the Israelites, man. They was really rebelling against Ahab's Ahab and Omri, but basically Ahab, man. But Ahab was a part of Omri's, his grandson, but that was part of his house, basically, if you will. All right, so Jehoram invaded Moab to quell the rebellion, and this neighboring nation that paid tax to them. But the Israelite army was drawn back. And they give you, like I said, they give you accounts of this in 2 Kings, 3rd chapter. You can start probably like they say 3:27 at the end, where just what we're talking about right now. It says, contrary to Misha's boast, Jehoram was not killed in the fighting. Because it says Jehoram died later in the coup. The Moabite stone dating from the 800s BC confirms the Bible's support of Omri's dynasty and of Misha's victory over Israelite forces led by a descendant of Omri. All right, so we're in all the books, man. They have us in. That's like Putin, Parmesan. What do you do? He exposed the icons. Well, this is what they look like, and that's over there. Though Putin is in what's that? In Europe. He's in the bottomless pit, man. That's where Europe has the bottomless pit over there. All right, it's known as that. So you got he's bringing out all this information on what our people look like. They got statues of them. Yeah, kind of icons. They got statues like which way I believe if I'm not mistaken. Yup, there we go ahead. And that's what I'm about to bring up. All right, the next king.
That's why
it was a Syrian king. The next one I'm about to get us. Not right, bro.
That's why they have something called iconoclasm. When the brother quoted the scripture in the book of Psalms 83, right? How they try to cut us off from being a nation.
That's right.
We know who we are. That's something iconoclasm. meaning it's like a washing away. You know, taking out, destroying the Russian icons about people that ruled in these regions, these different lands. You know?
Right.
Hey, that's why Esau trying to conquer and make themselves as the people.
Right. Yo, I think, matter of fact, the Moabite stone, this is the Moabite stone right here. It has Hebrew in it, right? That's what the stone looks like. They said it looked like a tombstone. It actually does. And it has Hebrew writing on it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the name Yahweh is written on it. Because this, you can't see it. Just look at, this is Paleo Hebrew. All right, more proof. All right. Well, this is old news. We just bring it out again. All right. Because we're going into what, the Day of Atonement. We're in the day, well, not in it yet, but sundown, 6:55 here in Philadelphia. But see, all right, so that's what the stone looked like. All right. So now, here we go. And that's known as, all right, it's known as the Mises still. And this was found, hold on, give me 1 second. I was looked up what year was the Moabite stone found, discovered, right? It says that, I'm going to read this one. The Moabite stone was discovered in 1868 by Palestine missionary named F.A. Klein in the Hiban, ancient Dibon, modern day Jordan. See, it's all over there. And where Jordan's at? Our people are over there, right? It's also known as the Mesa Still. The basalt monument contains an inscription by King Misha of Moab from around 830 BC and is now located in the Louvre Museum in Paris. So, them people all over there in that region, they know who we are, man. They know that. This is proof, and it sits in there. That's why all those people over there, when I first came in and everything, I started learning, and brothers were sharing videos, man. But it just got more intense now. A lot of brothers, man, they going in. But the younger brothers, a lot of people waking up even more. But there was a video out with the people over there in that region, because our artifacts is left behind, our statues are left behind, statues that they have, and they put these things in museums. That's how those people know when they go around, like these rappers and all that. What they do, they go over there. They know who they are, man. But they can't come over here and tell you, or they'll lose everything they got. And they're not trying to do that. And plus they think that they've been bamboozled, because they think that they're going to make it with Esau. You know. But these are facts, man. You can look them up for yourself. It's dates. This is history. All right, the Moabite stone was brought out years and years and years ago, man. Now it's in the museum. It's resting in the museum, man. All right. But it says, matter of fact, I'm gonna go to this. I want to get it in. Hold up. It's in Wikipedia. I'm messed up. What year was the Moabite stone found? Bear with me 1 second, yo. Now, all right, I'm gonna go here. All right, it says Misha Still, which we just read that recently. Because this was found in what, Jordan? All right, which Negro in this country got enough money to get up there and go and dig up this stuff to find these things? You don't, you know. But Esau, the earth, Job 9:24, what the earth is given to the hands of the. All right. Please do. Let me see something. The beast is still. If I don't this information, I'm just read this one paragraph. All right. show you this real fast. So you can see it. This light, man. This light is crazy. And then showing you information anyway. But it says the stone was discovered intact. It was intact, so it wasn't effed up by Frederick Augustus Klein and Angelica missionary, Angelican missionary at the site at ancient Devon. We just read this. It said in August 1868, a squeeze uh, had been obtained by a local Arab on behalf of Charles Simon Clermont Gania, an archaeologist based in the French consulate in Jerusalem. That's funny because it's in Paris. I think that's where France is, and Italy and all that. You know what? It says the next year the still was smashed into several fragments by the Bani Hamida tribe, seen as an act of defiance against the Ottoman authorities, who pursued the Bedouins, Bedouins, to hand over the still so that it could hand over the still so that could be given to Germany. And a lot of the like Indiana Jones movies not going to these things, man. That's where Indiana Jones is known for going and research history because he was like a researcher, a scientist, if you will. Go search out these things. These things are searched out, you know, and they're real, and they put it in like I said, Indiana Jones in the movies like that. All right, but it said it was 1868 to 7. All right,
The Ottoman Empire was also called the Turkish Empire.
Yeah, the Ottoman Turks.
Huh?
That's right there. The Turks. They as a matter of fact, Turkey is where Noah's Ark landed on that. The border of Turkey, you got Turkey. Matter of fact,
that would be the south. Is that the Southeast Europe and West Asia. North Africa, right?
So we was all over there. We was all throughout. Through all those regions, our history is there, and it's dated and all that. And that's why we got these books now. So that was our what? That was our second kin, Misha. Yeah. So we went through the Pharaoh. That was Misha. All right. There was two kings, which our history is written of in their books as well. All right, because we had interactions with each other. All right, so this is the second one. It says, an Israelite king bowing. All right, it says found in the ruins of Assyria. Now it was in the Assyrian captivity. All right. Also, we had our little places to dwell in and rule. We follow our customs and things like that. But as a time like going like I like to mention Daniel. The Medes. It was the Medes and the Persians that came to King. I think it was King Son. Was it Darius or something? I think it was Darius, if I'm not mistaken. When they was like, we wanted to make that no man can serve another god for 30 days. And then not going to the lion's den. That was Darius. Right? I think that was Darius. He said that no man could serve another god for 30 days without. And they found Daniel there. They spied on him. They seen Daniel there praying to his power and everything like that. And they ran right back to the king. But the king tried to get Daniel out, but he couldn't because he was a king, so he couldn't go back on his word. All right, but then anyway, this going here. Now this episode that we're reading about this king of the Assyrians. All right. Read it. It says found. It says found in the ruins of Assyria's capital city of Nimrud in northern Iraq. is yet another monument to a king's the domination of Israel. Now check this out. It says the stone monument uh, has a picture of an Israelite king, Jehu, bowing to an Assyrian king, Salamander III. All right, so this event basically took place in 841 BCE when they got this thing. But Jehu was he was a righteous king, man. All right, he wasn't on no like giving this king and everything. He was just paying him tribute, and I believe this is mentioned in the book of the Kings, if I'm not mistaken. But it shows you how much that this king gave to uh, uh, this king of Assyria. All right, it says, read this. Just, yeah, I'm sure, like, man, been up all night working, so forgive us. Got
Yeah,
cut, bring up.
in Second Kings.
Cut.
Right? But just a brief description where it says, as it goes into Second Kings, the 9th chapter, it says, as a fierce army commander, he was secretly anointed by a prophet to become king of Israel. Chosen by God to overthrow the wicked house of Ahab and Jezebel.
So he was, but this king, what's his name? Look up the king. Matter of fact, which king did which king of Assyria? Jehu bowed down to? Well, which king did Jehu bow? What Assyrian king? No, Salamander. Salamander. I'm tired. Forgive us. Salamander the third. That was a question I wanted to ask you. Damn, Salaki.
Once you know this history, you know that was our people. You know?
That's right. Look up do a little history of Salamander. Salamander the third. S.H. Shalamander. SHALMANE. S-E-R. SHALMANESER. Shal, like SHL and man. Shalman. Sure. ESER. SHALMANESER. The third.
Okay. It says,
it's a little history.
He's the king of the Neo-Assyrian Empire from 859 BC to 824 BC. His long reign was a constant series of campaigns against the eastern tribes, the Babylonians, the Babylonians, the nations of Mesopotamia, Syria, as well as Kizzuwatna, and the Abutu, his armies, penetrated to Lake Black and the Taurus Mountains, the Neo-Hittites.
Yeah, they mentioned and that the Hittites, and I'm gonna say they're part of the first 7 nations when you talk about when you go into the 7 nations, the Hittites are mentioned, then the Girgashites and all that, they all were in I believe they came from Canaan. They were all in that region of the land of Canaan. All right.
Oh, yeah, kind of.
They were all. That's where they basically that was their territory where they was at. You know.
Part of the 18 nation.
Kind of, yup. Yeah, that goes that traveled into the 18. It started at the 70, go to the 18, so on and so forth. You know. But
That was
that's pretty much that's yeah, kind of. All right. All right. So it says matter of fact, see if we can get this over there. Look up the picture of as it like show me pictures of King Jehu bowing to Salamander. Just to show, brothers, so on, whatever, it's on the comic book. Oh, sorry, Shalom, guy, y'all about to somebody die.
You have.
I know this was the year before. Now they try to make it seem like he was bound down. Well, they got all different types of. Matter of fact, here it goes. I believe this is. Uh, uh, this is it. I think this is it right here. But, yeah, this is because it's the black obelisk. Yup, this is it right here. It's called, and this picture right that is on. Now, if you look up the finest picture with King Jehu bowing down to the Assyrian king Salamander the Third, it's on this stone called the Black Obelisk, Obelisk. All right, and this is that's the picture right here. And if you look up, right, there you go. Now you're from way better. So if you look right here, that would be Jehu, right? The king is over here. Salamander the Third, that would be him. All right, but he trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, he bowed down to him. Well, you got pictures of them bowing down to us as well. All right, and I was a descendant of King um, Omar, which is Israelite. You know, going back into this, it says the picture accompanied by a caption is engraved onto a four-sided black marble pillar that stands about it stands about 1.5 meters, 5 feet tall, and is on display in the British Museum. All right, so the British know who we are. Man. Like when we came over, like that's why like this history is so important when you go to the scripture, man. Because like our people, the Brits that was over it, well, they know who the F we are, man. You know. That's why when the people come here and they be over there and they see you, they say a smart person can play dumb, but a dumb person can't play smart. They looking at you like, hey, and they've been taught like yo, they don't know who they are. You know, that's why you got our people that's over there in those regions waking up. And they've been doing it, waking up to who they are, and they got these artifacts where they can go into these museums and things, see things like this. Man. All right, so it says the caption below. The caption below. The picture describes the gifts that the Israelite king brought the tribute of Jehu, son of Erma, silver. This is what he brought to him. He brought no, Jehu brought silver, gold, a golden bowl, a golden breaker, beaker, golden goblets, golden pitchers, 10 staves for the king's hand, javelins, Jehu was not actually a descendant of King Omri. That's right, Khan. Jehu was not an actual descendant of King Omri, but was the king who succeeded Omri's grandson Jehoram. Solomon's obelisk, as the monument is called, confirms the existence of the two Israelite kings that the Bible says lived during the 800s BC, when Assyria dominated the Middle East. All right, so these things are all in history, mentioned in another book. So that's the third king, which was King Solomon. I was trying to see he had this. Well, we was under captivity of him, but it's like I said, man, he still had kings like, not about to say Hezekiah. That's what we're about to go into now. It's he was another king that they're trying to say. And the event that we're about to step into now took place in 701 BCE. All right, which BCE is not before Christ, and all that these Christians be saying BCE is before Common Era, but some people just say CE, which is Common Era. All right. Well, that would be going into Common Era. Common Era was when Yahweh Shah came on the scene. All right. So it says Hezekiah caged. King Hezekiah. Yo, Hezekiah, who was it? Right. Hezekiah. All right. So this event, like I said, took place in 701 BCE. It says Hezekiah caged. The Bible says that the Assyrian king Sennacherib invaded the Israelite kingdom of Judah. This is heavy right here. Right? This is heavy. It says Sennacherib invaded the Israelite kingdom of Judah. Yahweh overran all the forfeited cities, and then surrounded Jerusalem. The capital, matter of fact, do me a favor, brother. Look up that. Just to get a little bit of information on this, brother. He was a Syrian king. All right, that was so, of course, all these everything that when if you have a kingdom, right, you have to document a lot of things, everything basically. All right. Just gonna read a little bit about this guy. You know, which he was his father's name was Sagarno, something like that. Sagarno. But the reason why this event took place was his father. His father passed away. His father actually passed away in 705 BCE. You know, and that's what really incited this this event, right? But listen, go ahead, bro.
Okay, it says.
That's a little part.
Just to go into some Sennacherib, right? If I'm saying it correctly,
Sennacherib.
In 701 BCE, as a major ruler of the powerful Assyrian Empire, Sennacherib launched a military campaign to quell rebellions in the western part of his empire, including Judah.
Yeah. That's what Hezekiah was. He was the king of Judah. You know.
He invaded Judah and besieged Jerusalem during Hezekiah's reign.
This happened in what 701. 701. BCE. That's right.
After initially,
because his father died in 705, so it took a little time for him to actually, because a rebellion happened after his father died. It was like, man, we ain't paying all this and all that. You know how that goes. So now it inflamed this brother. Well, not his brother, but it inflamed his concern. It inflamed. Now go ahead. It's like
it says, after initially paying Sennacherib a large tribute, Hezekiah seemed to remain under threat, according to the Bible. Yahweh, God, intervened by destroying the Assyrian army overnight throughout an angel, right? Having an angel and killed a couple hundred of his soldiers overnight. So when they woke up, they saw them dead. Like, and I think they were scared to go against him. I can't remember the story. It says, destroying the Assyrian army overnight through an angel, forcing Sennacherib to withdraw and return to Syria, where he was later assassinated by his sons.
It's crazy. His sons killed him. That's heavy. They probably wanted the power in that. I got the power. Yeah, cause just a little information on that dude. And see, look, you can't mess with the Lord's people, man. Because look, his own sons killed him because he tried to come at this brother, Hezekiah, man. The king, the Judah at the time. And they was already paying what you was taxing them and everything. Might say the taxes, they was paying that. But y'all wanted more.
And that's in 2 Kings,
the 19th
the 19th chapter. Yeah.
Oh, you jumping the gun, bro. Nah, you good, bro. Nah, you good. Good. It says, let's read this again. It says the Bible says that the Assyrian king Sennacherib invaded the Israelite kingdom of Judah, overran all the fortified cities, and then surrounded Jerusalem, the capital where King Hezekiah lived. The Bible adds that the Assyrian army suddenly fled one night after the angel of Yahweh came to the Assyrian camp and killed thousands of their soldiers. So the angel, they said that right there, right? The angel's there. And I told you like that event sort of takes place in 2 Kings the 19th chapter. Right, fact. But no, not good. Man, right there, so. So the angel was with Hezekiah.
Yeah, and it says that the angel killed. Wow. The angel, it says, described defeat by an angel of the Lord who killed 185,000 of his soldiers.
Yo, listen, man.
Leading to his retreat.
He has to get the hell up out of it. Yeah, come. That reminds me, that reminds me like a Passover when Yahweh came. Definitely, that's the Yahweh, man. Came and killed them soldiers for his man. Hezekiah,
Man,
because they was trying to come against him, Check it out. It says, one back to the book. You can read it for yourself because we already been on it for like an hour. About to wrap it up because it's just a couple more things we want to bring out. Get out there. But it says, where we at? You can read 2 Kings, the 19th chapter. It says, Sennacherib's own version of this invasion is recorded in one of the best preserved records of the ancient Mid-East. The ancient Mid-East, a six-sided clay cylinder covered in cuneiform writing. Sennacherib's prism tells about the 8 of his military campaigns, including the one in which he besieged Jerusalem. Here are exemptions from Salaki. Here are excerpts from his Judean campaign in 701 BC8. So look, man, it says it was written it's written in cuneiform, right? We ain't speak that. They spoke that.
So that would be like their description.
So that's why I said it says it right there. This is Sennacherib's own version. It says his own version of this invasion is recorded in one of the best preserved records of the ancient Middle East, man. So that's a preserved record. So the Lord, so you can see it and know, like, yo, these people was here too. Dang, the Israelites, the mention of them in other books, not just the Bible. So these people do exist. But who are they? We told you who we are.
Right.
You know, that's why people are waking up. You wake up through history, go through history, you find out, man, this is a history book. You know, she got the job told me after this. She was like, yo, man, and she saw me kind of around time, like, you know, she said, what you read? Oh, you know, that's a history book. I said, how do you know that? Who told you that? You know?
Right.
She started saying, she's like, oh, no. But she said, no, Jesus is black. I'm like, all right, there you go. But she like one of them women that just natural, the fro type. She it Eve, man, but you know, it be not no drill, no dreads, no breezes. She got it like her. She coming to work, so you know. Hey man, our people waking up to this BS that Esau has. All right, so we're gonna hop into the last king. All right, hey yo, and another reason why I wanted to bring this out too is because we in this captivity here, right? And the Lord, and this is examples of our people being under captivity of these other people. Guess what? They were exiled out of there. The Lord came and delivered them, man. You know, and now it's coming. Now we're coming to this now because we're about to get into the King Cyrus, right? And we're gonna end up on this one because that King Cyrus under his rule, his authority, he allowed us to build the second temple, right? Now the Lord is rebuilding the third temple right in front of your faces. All right?
That's right.
And he's going to be the one to come back and redeem that temple, right?
They ain't gonna be able to destroy it out.
Is that at all? At all. At all. So ours says Cyrus frees political prisoners. All right, that's crazy. It says when the Persians conquered Cyrus over Salak. It says when the Persians conquered Cyrus overpowered Babylon in 539 BC and started the Persian Empire, he issued a decree that freed all prisoners of the Babylonian Empire. This is in the Second Chronicles and in Ezra. All right, it says say that among the prisoners were the Jews. All right, basically the Israelites. Under other prisoners were the Jews. We're in Babylon. All right. It says who survived the annihilation of their country when in 586 BC, so like 586 BCE, Babylon leveled the Judean cities, including Jerusalem, and took the survivors back to Babylon as spoils of war. So they destroyed the first temple. You know, so that's why the second temple had to be built. All right, and Cyrus was given the authority through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of Yahweh Shem outside by Shem Kakodas to allow us to, you know what, I got some information up as well. Going to this, and this is written in their books as well. All right, so you know we ain't sitting here talking ish. All right, I'm telling you the truth.
Because if their kings rule,
Right.
that they write books about.
That's right.
And that proves that the Israelites had to be under their captivity.
Right.
Because you know when kings rule, what are they ruling? They're ruling lands, nations, people.
Kingdoms.
They're ruling people.
Right.
What people are they ruling over? You know, so they'll say, oh, the Israelites, they're not us, but yet they want to read about their kings that rule.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I just thought, oh, the Israelites are done away with.
Yeah,
the Edomites are done away with. Now, Israelites has never been.
It never went extinct.
The scriptures tell you the Lord will never turn away from his people. He'll never pass his heritage to another. You know, the Edomites, you never left either. Oh, you will in Obadiah, as Obadiah states. You know, your time is coming.
The only thing that left, y'all changed, was the names.
Yup, that's it.
That's why people are confused. Like, who's the Edomite? Who's this? Who's that?
Yeah.
You know?
I got that red book. That's what it's just cool. It's cool. I don't need it.
And that's how you know we're under, just for an example, that's how you know we're under a Roman captivity now.
That's right.
Because English, the English alphabet is a Roman alphabet. You know what I mean?
And like concerning what you said earlier, brother, about the record wise, and how you know that, and now if the Israelites, we're not the Israelites, then why is there records of the when the ships first came here on this port down in Virginia, right? Which is a Commonwealth state, just like Pennsylvania. Um, they have documents on the slaves that came off the boat, their Israelite names written in the Paleo Hebrew. We've been telling you about the Paleo Hebrew, written in the same way, the man, woman, and child, how tall they were, uh, race, believe age, and all that, so they could sell them. So damn, that's a record that's recorded. Is that in the Bible? Those records? No, they're personal records that they wrote.
Exactly.
So that's proof that we're written in other different books, man, and our history is scattered, man. You know, we've been scattered, but whatever port that we were scattered to is records of us coming into that land, man.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
just like it's records of us being in these different places, and that's all we're doing is breaking it down and telling you about it, and telling you to go look it up for yourself to see if we're lying to you. You know, just like the Moabite story. Look up that. Look up all these. What's that? What we just mentioned? Misha's still. That's the Moabite story. Slot. Um, what was this guy? Salamander. What do you got? Oh, this his seeds, and that's written down. Because they got to write down what happened. If you read it, was that Second Kings, the 19th chapter, is going to. He thought and was when he went back, he told you, oh, the king ain't die in battle. Jehu, he ain't die in battle, man. He got away, then you know, check out. He told you that. All right, all you gotta do is read these things for yourself. Anyway, let's go back into Cyrus. Cyrus frees political prisoners. It says, clay, right. Matter of fact, no, it says a clay cylinder. No, let's go ahead. No, all right, yeah. It says a clay cylinder inscribed with cuneiform writing dating from Cyrus's region confirms that he conquered Babylon. See that? It confirms that Cyrus conquered Babylon. It's written in cuneiform. All right? Babylon, and that he released all Babylonian prisoners so that they could go back to their own lands, rebuild their temples, and worship their gods. All right? So all those people that Babylon had and captive, Cyrus can't conquer them. Yo, look, man, y'all going up to go serve your gods, but I'm in control. You know, us being a part of it, we could go serve Yahweh. Bashim outside. That's why he said us, go back and build y'all temples. You know, the places where y'all, practice y'all worship and all that. You know, and the second temple is the actual temple Yahweh Shah walked through, man. And the second temple was actually more immaculate than the first temple, man. That's why when Yahweh Shah came through and he saw those people around the Passover season, and they was making merchandise of, like, not merchandise, but they was selling the Passover lamb for more money than it should be sold. That's why he beat their ass. He said he turned my father's house into a den of thieves, man. You know, that had him irate, man. And rightfully so. You know? But it says I return to those and this what this cuneiform says. All right. Matter of fact, here it goes right here. This is what it looks like according to this book. All right. This is Cyrus wrote on this, King Cyrus. All right. And this is what it said. This is what it reads. And this was written in cuneiform. It says, I returned to these sanctuaries on the other side of the Tigris River. The sanctuaries which had been ruined for a long time. The images which used to be alive therein and established for them permanent sanctuaries. I also gathered all their former inhabitants and returned them to their homes. All right, so he set them free, basically. The Lord is coming back to set us free. It ain't going to be no Babylonian king. It's like you got Nero now. What are you trying to do? I'm sending them back here. That dude he's bugged out his damn mind, man. You know, if you want to send him something, send him over there. that war that's going on, that's our land over there. Over there, Iraq, Iran, and all those places over there. Yeah, the Lord he's causing a controversy. He's clearing that place out for his people, man. That's why all them bodies is being they're going right back to that land where they came from. They came from the ground. All right, that's where your flesh comes from. It comes from the ground, so it has to replenish that land for us to come over there. You know, and then and the ones that we come with the chains on them, they gonna be burying them bodies, man. All right, but it says furthermore, Cyrus asked these people and their gods to pray for him. So he asked, or even asked us, tell you God to pray for, tell y'all to pray for me.
Right.
You know,
and he was heathen.
yo, come.
He
But see, he had enough sense to know, like y'all do, because the Lord had to give him insight that he was going to take down the Babylonians. The same way he gave insight to Alexander the Greek that he was going to be the ruler when he took down Alexander the Egypt and all that when he came on his conquering spree. You know, all these people they're given to let it's known in some type of form that they're going to take over. All right, but now it's known that this is their last rulership. So that's written, man. All right, that's written, and they're never ever going to rise again to possess this land. All right, that's why we're going through right now anyway. This part of history. That's why I said five examples. I tell you the five examples to prove that the Israelites are mentioned in other books. You know, because these books did. It's and other books and other how do you say like scrolls. Yeah, that's books. Like,
and that's what these books are really.
Kind of. That's
You
right.
know, but and that's the history in that book referring to in the book of Ezra. Because the Babylonians was going to come against us. You know, the Lord put the spirit in that heathen king to allow us to build that wall for defense. You know, so if it says that in the scriptures, and it says that in these other books, you can't deny it.
That's right.
You know, because some
so
people
who are those people?
They don't believe in the scriptures, but fuck around, excuse my language, they might buy this book in their schools.
Exactly. No, matter of fact, go get one of them cuneiforms. Who are they? And see, and that's how you know the Lord. He's bad like that, man, because he leaves those things so these people could see it.
Yeah.
When they want to deny it, they not the people. Who are they? Yeah. Well, he tried like we read in what Psalms 83, verse 4. Let us cut them off for being a nation. All right, that's what they really want to do. They did it, but the Lord, he always come back to his people.
Right, and the Lord is so decent. He'll hide certain like scripts on stones and written in Hebrew.
That's right. Yeah.
For archaeologists to find it in a lot of days.
It's like the lost lunar stone here in America. No, here in Babylon, the lost lunar stone, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it has 10 commandments written in Paleo Hebrew on that stone. You know, with the name Yahweh on it. The Gadites knew who Yahweh was. They spoke a broken Hebrew here, man. You know.
Right, and that's why the apostles now they mention Trump as being his name. Well, you can even Google it.
Yeah, kind of told you.
It says it's a common thing that people reference Trump as Nero.
Damn, I wonder where they got that.
You know, and when you read about Nero, it goes into the Jews. Oh, well, who are the Jews?
And look at the hell he brings.
Not those Jews in Israel today. Those, you know,
the real Israelites.
The
real is because he been over there recruiting. He see that Trump not dumb. He know who the Israelites are. Just like them rappers, he know. But in the rap niggas, they so stupid. They think that he's going to back them. No, he hates you.
Oh, because he parted.
Yeah, he hates you. You're his slave. You're a slave to him, man. You're nobody to him.
They only pardon us so we can gain favor from him.
He got he got something else for him. You know, watch. And and Nero, he was what? He was putting them Israelites to death. You know, and Apostle Tahar just brought up, but I remember seeing it a while ago, and I mentioned it a while ago, a couple years back, when they used to burn the Israelites on like little stakes, like how you got your street lights outside.
Oh,
They used to burn them there, and like that would be your light. That would be your streets lights at night. When you walk through, you see the bodies, the Israelite burning, and that lit up the streets. You know, that's crazy, man. So you think those things are not about to happen again, man? You know, you better do some history on Nero. Niggas that think it's a game, you know. But I'm gonna read this again, the last part, and then we're gonna go out. Send it to reports. So yeah, and that's why the uniform was written. See, they want to take all of our stuff. The Bible is a bunch of letters composed together, prophets writing things down. That was it. It was inspired by the Lord. All right. Um, Certain letters back and forth to different prophets and things like that. History, all that. That's what the Bible's consisted of, man. It's an actual book, and those powers and things that those people possess in there, that actually happen, man. But when you read the term for the matter of fact, check it out.
If I could say real quick, the uniform, what's happening is that it's written on stone.
Exactly.
So they can burn the book.
Exactly.
But it's written
you
on
can't
stone.
burn that.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of these. Matter of fact, I'm glad you said that, brother. That's beautiful. Because this is written on stone. The
images.
What's that? The drawing, the Mesa steel, Moabite stone.
It's an artifact,
right? You got this one. This in the British Museum. With Salamander the third. That's the obelisk. If I'm not mistaken. Hold up, I believe that was. You know, it's an obelisk, called a black obelisk. And even though in the ancient Egypt, those things were written in stone. You know, and on the upper parts of the pyramids, when you go through the chambers, that was the Egyptian hieroglyph. Then you go further down, you'll see the Israelite slaves that they had. You know, then you see the difference of how they dress and slaves and the makeup that they wear. Israelites wasn't wearing that bullshit, man. You know. But it says, that was a hell of a point, bro. Wow. It says Sennacherib's clay prism, which confirms that the Assyrians attacked Jerusalem during Hezekiah's reign, as the Bible reports, man. So, man, it's no getting around it. All right, so I'm gonna finish it with this. It says, furthermore, Cyrus asked these people and their gods to pray for him. May all the gods whom I have settled in their sacred cities ask daily, my gods, Bel and Nuba, that's his gods, Cyrus, for a long life for me. In response to Cyrus' policy, many Jews returned to their homeland and began rebuilding Jerusalem and its temple, as the Bible said. Like I said, the second temple started to be built around 520 BC. It was completed in 516 BCE. It says Cyrus gave the Israelites the decree to do so. All right. So Lord's willing, man. This was hey, man. Lord's willing. This was edifying. I know it's going to be this long. I know it's going to go, but the Lord's willing, this was edifying. Got something out of it. It's the next lesson. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rechakodash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, the bishops, the great millstone, tell us the truth. Honor salutations to the elect. So next lesson we'll sing the Waffle Bible Ball. Don't Yahshua. Shalom.